Hi, hello, and welcome to the Oracle Counselorship brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess of Blosi. I'll be your Oracle today, and I was sent to deliberate the findings for check-in. So we're going to do a check-in. And if anything that is said resonates deeply with you, go ahead and check the energy in the show notes, the about, the description. And if it deeply resonates, like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, a donation, book a session, take a class. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get into these messages. I'll be deliberating the findings from the Modern Witch Tarot by, I think it's Lisa Sturl, pretty sure. And again, my name is Blosi. Vertex of Abundance is a galactic temple of ascension and a sacred news channel delivering messages from behind the veil. If anything resonates deeply with you, go ahead and reach out, plug and play, however you're called to do that. Understand that on this channel, the messages are more timely versus timeless. So sometimes they expire or there's a date of termination, just meaning there's a date when the physical energy will be taking place. But if you're picking up at a later time, coming around kind of late to the party, take it as a spiritual, take it as something that's happening. Maybe it's a transference from your subconscious into your consciousness. Something goes from the consciousness to the super consciousness. Does that make sense? So things may become manifest that are previously latent, and that's typically outside of any kind of date or timing that we're doing here on Vertex of Abundance. Also, if you check out the channel page, there will be links to other channels. Those have been low and slow for a while. That will shift whenever. So just make yourself aware. And you know, the genders, the energies, they all kind of are polarities. So when you have an external polarity, you're committed to giving energy. And when you have an internal polarity, you're committed to receiving energy or cultivating from said energy versus manifesting out of said energy. And that would be the king and queen irrespectively. Okay. All right. Okay, Baba, let's see what we got going on. We're just gonna go ahead and do a check-in spread. So myself personally, I've been out of alignment and that resolved itself. We have the Six of Wands here, so there's some position is what I'm hearing. I was saying that I was out of alignment. Really, I've been in bereavement. And it's a great thing, but there needed to be, it was a difficult, kind of sad process, which is not completely over. But the thing about it is, like, people are like, oh, I'm sorry, I want to. For me, the way that I see it is a lot of information came out, a lot of content, a lot of context, a lot of data, a lot of feedback, both adjusting and affirming, meaning good and bad, or negative and positive. And yeah, it was most particularly unpleasant, but adversity is the catalyst for success. Conflict breeds change. You know, harmony in business and life is great, but when you're addicted to it, it creates an illness. It's a boring illness is the word. The Six of Wands is recognition, accolades. It also is some kind of coveted status. It's also winning something. So this is receiving something or being chosen, but it's by effort. And then we have the Four of Wands. So this is talking about some kind of stage, some kind of platform, some kind of position. It can also talk about finally being able to take care of oneself or finally being able to build something for oneself, finally being able to have something, take credit, get credit, receive credit, um, finally be able to open something, to start something, to build something. And it is with the Seven of Pentacles here, we are building or planting seeds or sowing in some kind of way. Somebody's working on their platform. I think they're finally working on their platform, or I think they're realizing the position. And the platform could be their role, position at work. It can also be a YouTube, Instagram, things of that nature. It can also have been getting an apartment and sprucing it up, Seven of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. So that would be having to go piece by piece, not having a general design theme, or maybe even a designer would be doing things yourself. And I'm feeling like things have or will in the near future come together. That's the message that I'm getting. 10 of Swords. Some truth may be emerging. It's probably more something difficult that's finally over. It might have taken a long time or been most particularly protracted if there was a healing situation. Okay, somebody here had heart surgery. I'm not going to consult or counsel on that. General reading, I don't have guidance. I'm not a medical practitioner, or I don't do medical practice, put it that way. So somebody had a difficult recovery to a heart surgery. It's gonna end. That the protracted nature of the recovery is what I'm hearing. And I heard the word protracted twice, but the other protraction is talking about some kind of design. Now, design doesn't always mean like you're decorating your apartment or whatever. It could also mean a plan that is part of a great orchestration and some individual facet or piece. It's kind of smoothing out, rounding out, so that the other facets and the other moving pieces can congruently congeal, compound, cascade off each other. I'm feeling somebody was having difficulty finding pieces for their place, is what I'm hearing. Somebody's designing, decorating. Now, I hear interior design all the time, but that's because a family practice is real estate staging, like decorating empty things, empty places, usually houses, so that they can be sold. It's like a family hobby, but I'm literally hearing somebody took a long time, upwards of a year, to find all the pieces they were looking for. Somebody was also looking for a missing piece. They were trotting along. This is something separate and aside. Somebody was trotting along. This is resonating. I went no contact about a year ago, January 12th. And I was kind of wandering around in the desert. Now, the desert was not an actual Sahara, but it was like going without some type of supply that I'd been having. It wasn't a positive supply. And I didn't even know what I was looking for. And it had started to shift, it started to change, it had started to evolve. I started to go into a different cycle of healing. And these are things I've been finding out the last 2-3 weeks. They've been going on for the last 2-3 years, but the last 2-3 weeks, language-based knowledge structure has come to the forefront. Maybe it was the back burner, maybe it was the background, maybe it was the back front. Okay. Something is finally clear, like as I was saying, walking around the desert. Knew the general direction to walk, didn't have an actual idea, concept, strategy. And I had kind of come out of that without knowing. A few weeks ago, a few months ago, I'd come out of that and was on a slightly different, evolved or matured or advanced to the next cycle, facet, section of the healing process. And then somebody came into my life and gave me language. I've been looking for a different kind of teachers. I got some mentors that I've never had in my life. I've been getting coaching and mentoring, general advice Well, I've been an athlete since 8 years old. Um, so over half my life. And anyways, I've been getting some new teachers, and somebody had said something to me that really just let me know about like a missing piece had come. And it wasn't the actual piece that was as relevant as it was the learning recognition, not just actually recognizing, but learning about the concept and idea of recognizing, like when blessings show up, when you ask for something and it's coming towards you, recognizing that sometimes you're being invited, you're being offered, whether it's by a person or the divine, you know. So it turns out for me personally, what the last maturity that came to me was my human and my male and my masculine maturity. I had already spiritually matured. I already had some other types of like I am a warrior, do not cross me. Like I could do that whole King of Swords, I could do that whole King of Cups, I could do that whole um King of Pentacles thing. But the thing that was coming hard was the King of Wands. And so we have the Six of Wands here, and this is on our side with the Seven of Pentacles here. So we've been planting seeds about our coveted status, the position that we're already in, the position that we built for ourselves. Sixes have to deal with culture, cultivating out of. So culture is the ability to cultivate from the environment, surrounding location that you're in. For some reason, that's relevant. Now we have the second six coming out, Six of Cups. So that can be a healing, that can be a returning. With this Ten of Swords, we have a double solar energy. Something's finally over. If we've cursed ourselves, damned ourselves, or been betrayed, been stuck, been backstabbed, or if we're in the dark or something, the dawn is emerging, the light is coming out, Ace of Base, I saw the sign, opened up my eyes kind of deal. I don't see a blinding, blaring flash of the obvious. What I'm understanding is we're coming back into our heart center, becoming genuine, authentic, sincere also, but our heart is being cleansed, purified, and darkness is being called away. If there were demons around us, I'm literally hearing Sobek, the Vodun, call him Ajakpa, Mr. A. Um, he's the alligator spirit. There was some kind of darkness or evil called away, or I'm also hearing as an aside, there were negative entities on a periphery of some kind. And they were called away so that we could do the rest of the work of coming out of some kind of darkness. I don't have the entire thread there, but we also do have the Queen of Pentacles. So like I'm saying, with this Ten of Swords, Six of Swords, all the solar energy, we have that light and that dark, because literally this is the waiting room for heaven. And then we have, this is the waiting room to like be released from prison here, Ten of Swords. It's like it literally is getting processed out of jail. And this is going through security clearing at work, clearance at work, at the court. This is clearing security at the courthouse. And then we have this world. So that's a completion, an accomplishment. What happens is we leave this protracted healing place and we realize that we're a golden goose. We have this worth, value, we're deserving of some nature, we're chosen of some nature, and that we actually have something coveted, something of great esteemed status. So we're realizing that we're in a bigger league, that we're a bigger fish, that we're a bigger game, that we're a bigger boss than we thought we were, or we had been led to believe. So part of this reframe, that can happen with the Ten of Swords, especially when you have a six. We had two. Sixes are winning. It's also gifts. It's also being chosen. It's also things that have to deal with the soul. Okay, Six of Wands, Four of Wands so far with this Queen of Pentacles. So somebody was building, erecting a foundation. Seven of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, planting seeds. planting seeds. Okay, so the worst is over. The best is yet to come. What's happening is there's a healing and happiness is returning. You know, I had a breakthrough some weeks ago. There was this, because I don't like the word depression. I don't, I don't believe that I personally get depressed. I don't like the word depression. There needs to be a lot going on for that word to really be used. And I don't want to poo-poo on it. I love the field of psychiatry specifically. The thing about it is like, it's like thyroid. I don't think it's prescribed. I don't think it's diagnosed the way it should be. And I do believe we all have depressive episodes, but there's a alternative word to depression, alternative word to grief is bereavement. When there's a loss, usually a person, but when there's a loss, does not need to be deceased. When there's a loss, or when we end up surviving some person, place, or thing, surviving someone, whether or not they're still walking upon the surface of the earth, we do get bereaved. And when that word, okay, again, these new teachers are amazing, but the word, when bereavement got given to me as a tool, oh my gosh, so many things lined up, you know, in terms of like, because I'm a Sag rising, so I'm always, you know, aim, 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 aim. I'm always looking up towards the heavens, towards the horizon, towards the future. That's why a lot of my enemies, they're fighting me. I don't even notice that I'm, you know, to me, it just tickles. I don't even notice that they're shooting me and stabbing me in the back. Because to me, I'm very kinky. I don't need to say anything more. Okay. But all the swords, 8 of swords, 9 of swords, 10 of swords, those talks about very specific fetishism. So to me, it's like, oh, you're trying to do a pain play? I don't think you understand. Torture for me is like foreplay. Does that make sense? And you know, my people would like that and understand that. It's more of like something that held us back before, or something that is designed to hold us back. We were barely even noticing some kind of obstacle, impediment that was placed upon us. We weren't even noticing. And what's come up recently for us should have been, again, that recognition, recognizing value, recognizing gifts, recognizing blessings, recognizing offers, invitations when they come in, all these things. Like, it took me a while for my King of Wands to come through, man. I got some of them other kings in my 20s, yo. I would tell you, I've been a spiritual savant. I know definitely I had some strong gifts come in around age 13. It was like lightning. So I might have got my King of Cups then. But you hear what I'm saying? Like, this recognition is about so much more than being able to see manipulation for what it is, being able to call gaslighting what it is, being able to this, being able to that. We have this entire spectrum now of recognition, and it's like the dawn, the light has emerged. Something's been a tool right in front of us the whole time. It's like when you had to hand wash your clothes all of your life, and then suddenly you have a washer and dryer in your kitchen or something. Okay, so Page of Pentacles here in this context with the World card would talk about somebody getting documentation. I'm hearing somebody's getting their passport or get your passport. Okay, also, you may have a gift waiting. The gift may be travel. You may also be accomplishing something, ready to receive. You could be entry level. To me, that's not entry level. That's somebody who you may be getting your associate's degree. Okay, but we do have a master's degree here with the Queen of Pentacles. A bachelor's would be the Knight. Okay, but we have associate's degree. So you could be getting a certificate, you could be doing your certifications, you could be doing your boards, but if it's the bar, whatever. Okay, somebody might have also been going through like their credits, their transcripts, seeing how they can cobble together something. Now, it's not really that, but I feel like that cobbled together energy is going to come out. What it is that somebody here is wanting to make sure they get into this place they're working for. Technically, I'm hearing medical school explanation, but what you do is you get all your common, basic, ordinary stuff out of the way, and then you start doing things that are going to get you to qualify for certain programs that you want, where additional information comes out that allows you to sit to be trained personally. Now so if you heard in there was like levels and levels and levels of qualification. Does that make sense? And one leads to another and leads to another and leads to another. That's what, because the preparing to receive is what I heard. Page of Pentacles. So Queen of Wands. So we need to defend our position. Also, we have a vision for our future. We're wanting to have a bigger platform. And remember I was saying, we've been waiting to see if what we've been doing so far and the energy that we've been putting in, the seeds that we've been sowing, we're waiting for confirmation that the investments that we're making are actual investments and not expenses, that we're not losing out, going in the wrong direction, going in the wrong path. We want to make sure that the work we're going to be putting in and the seeds that we're going to be sowing are going to be fruitful. 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands with this Page of Pentacles. Also, we're waiting on receipt of something, waiting on, waiting on access is what I just heard. Okay, it's very probationary or, okay, waiting on admittance. Well, the spring semester is starting soon. I mean, I don't know. I'm not the one to consult here. I need more specifics. I don't know what the question is here. So Ace of Cups. So whatever I just channeled was the message for us. We have grown and accomplished something. Over this last week, we got blessed. I feel like a couple of days ago, we had a blessing come in. And it's going to lead us to deep, deep, deep spiritual knowledge and insight because of our place in the eternal kingdom, which is different in contrast to the infernal kingdom. Okay. So maybe in the future or at a party, if we're going through conflict or the manifestation of this thing, what's going to be manifesting out of, we have the Page of Swords. So when it's the first card out, because we're doing a fresh line for second party, we just did the first party. There are people scrutinizing, maybe judging in some kind of way. Now, it may just be simple cruel. Okay, I heard the word cruelty, so it's going to get dark. I can tell already. But curiosity, scrutiny. Okay, so somebody's trying to see things from a different perspective or looking for a missing piece of something. Hangman, Page of Swords with the Hermit. There's an investigation here. Somebody's being investigated, being scrutinized. Somebody also may be like a Virgo Libra cusp, especially in their rising sign, because their midheaven is. Somebody may also be a Sagittarius rising because their midheaven is Virgo. We have Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Virgo energy here. I'm getting an Aquarius. Okay, so Hangman with the Page of Swords is somebody's looking for the missing piece. They're investigating. They're trying to get to the bottom of something. They're searching their soul, trying to see things from a different perspective, even trying to get out of the box ideas, even. Hermit, Hangman, Page of Swords. That's what that is. With the Temperance card, either they find that perfect piece, or they work it out, or they heal. So maybe they had to retreat. Maybe they had to surrender. Maybe they had to, withdraw unto themselves, be left to their own devices in some kind of way. And they don't receive anything. They're feeling guarded now, but Page of Swords, Temperance, they're feeling guarded now, but they're feeling healed, or they're feeling competent in whatever comes next. And then we have the Star card, which, okay, so now we're talking about Aquarius, Venus, or a Leo rising. With the Star card and the Page of Swords, Venus in Aquarius or Leo ascendant, Leo rising, Venus descendant, Aquarius descendant. Okay, so if they were feeling guarded, they were looking for the missing piece. They found the missing piece because they returned to their original path, their spirit, karma, life path, destiny, because their soul healed and is now at peace. I feel like in the future, our soul's going to heal and we're going to be at peace because there's going to be some transformation. Star card, Temperance. That's what you call life's calling. And then Death card with the Star card, it's a change in path, change in future. Now, the future has to deal with spirit, karma, life path, destiny. The path has to deal with where you are, where you want to be. All that space in between is the path. So where you are now, incarnated upon the earth, where you want to be, return back to the divine. The path in between is the path. And again, path. So when the Death card and the Eight of Cups, that's a pilgrimage, somebody going to higher ground, somebody doing something for the first time, or traveling. This is also, I'm getting somebody's gonna going to Africa. If you're Vudun or an Orisha or Yoruba or Haitian Vudun or something, you may be making pilgrimage. Me, I did my ancestry and I went back like 88 names and like 6 generations and like back to 1801, which is, slavery. You can't go back much further. But I also found like my indigenous tribe and, like where in Ghana we're from and what the indigenous language it is that they speak, not just what they speak as a national language in Ghana, but like my actual tribal lineage and everything. So I'm hearing a lot of this right now. Because Eight of Swords, Death card, that's a pilgrimage. That's also Zogbe work. Especially with the page. The pages are Chamba. This is the air Chamba. So that's the Azevudun. That's the mummies in the cemetery. So they're talking about all the unknown ancestors, both known and unknown, lost in the sea of time. If you're waiting on me to get back to you, I'm just getting back to work, by the way. I've been in bereavement. It's not an excuse, it's an explanation, which is an excuse. Explanations to me are excuses. So I'm just informing you of what's up. I know there's some people I need to get back to. I feel like I'm caught up on my work, but new work has kind of come in, and it's not like deliverables, it's actually just like busy work. Yeah, man. Look, dude, just like for real. When we have these two cards, it's very spiritual. The word is pilgrimage, spiritual pilgrimage. Ten of Cups, yes. We need to go bow before the throne, whether it's making offerings in a temple, whether it's going through initiation in a community, whether it's traveling to a convention for your work, whether it's getting on a public, maybe you're going to receive an award of some kind, traveling to receive an award. I mean, yeah, traveling to a convention to receive an award. Yeah, you're returning home. This is called a homecoming. I'm coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home. If you want to write who the artist of that in the comments. The Knight of Cups, Ten of Cups, that's a coming home. It's to do Zogbe work with the Star card and the Death card here. It's also a change in your path. We're going to become spiritual. We're going to be doing some pilgrimage. Somebody here's doing a yoga teacher training. Somebody here is going to India. I'm going to Africa. So I hear it, I see it, I smell it. Okay, and then we have this Three of Cups. So we're going to be joining in a new community with the Three of Cups, Knight of Cups, Ten of Cups. It's pilgrimage. It's pilgrimage, and it's also joining or being given entry into a community. Two wands here. We're looking for the path, or we're looking for a road. No, we've already chosen this, or we want this and we're looking at our options. It's some abstract version of that. And then also over the last couple of days, we've been looking at how to access a community or looking at our place. I feel like we're getting new groups. Like that's happening. I'm dumping a lot of old friends. A lot of new friends are coming to me. I'm leaving old communities. A lot of new communities are coming to me. And it was not super intentional, although I did notice that I was going to leave groups. Like I was with a spiritual group and I joined a running group instead, just because first of all, less sedentary people. That's absolutely really good. I've become very sensitive to like, I can sense pheromones. I always have been able to sense pheromones, but it's usually when the moon's in Virgo and in Pisces, because I go into heat for like 2 days when that happens. But then like I can't smell. Now I can smell everything all the time. It's like a new, you know, um, so runners are a lot better pheromone wise because they're sweating everything out. You don't get all the toxins and there's no, but like little things like that. But it's not just leaving my old groups and stuff. It's like friends. There are some friends where I'll look at them and be like, okay, I don't know how well this relationship serves me. I'm going to contemplate over the next few weeks to see if my needs are getting met here and how I can service this attachment and entanglement. And without even saying, suddenly there'll be a conflict. I'm not saying this to the person, I'm looking at the friend and thinking it. And then all of a sudden we have a conflict weeks later. And the language for me, again, these new teachers are amazing, a lot of new language. The language for me personally, please apply this, okay, is I'm being given an out. So somebody's creating an opportunity for me to leave, for me to stay out, for me to opt out, for me to step away, for me to, it's called take liberty, get relief, for me to have respite, perhaps permanently. If you're giving me this option and I'm not like, oh no, I'm staying, like sometimes I'll be like, boy, you fine. And they're like, oh, let's be friends. I'm like, I'm not interested in a friendship. I want you, you know, if you're that adamant, about it, then when you're giving an out, you won't be like, okay, chill, peace out. Because if you say you don't want to fuck with me no more, I'm gonna be so relieved because I don't have to invest. Because me, I'm a cancer, 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 cancer. So I give my love and and I don't get a lot back always. Okay. Okay, you're gonna have your own abstract version of the same thing I'm talking about. Maybe this different language, maybe the same energy might be manifesting differently. It might have a different termination and different manifestation in your life. Okay. Um, but with the death card in this two of wands, we're looking for a way out, or we're looking for a way on and forward. We're literally confronting this change. We're looking at how to make a permanent change. And again, these new teachers. So, like, if you want massive changes, you got to take massive action, but you've also got to do things differently. If you've been trying, and the same kind of result, I don't want to call that insanity word or whatever, but it's like, for things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better. If you're not making not just changes, but taking massive action, how are you expecting your life to look different? And then imagine if you're making excuses today because of fear or whatever. Well, tomorrow's going to be the same. Next week's going to be the same. Next month's going to be the same. A year from now, you're going to have the same life. Is that going to feel good? Like, in reality, when you boss up, G up, level up, glow up, you stop doing that punk ass, pussy ass, pansy ass, weak, whiny, wounded, weaselly, excuse making kind of bullshit. Excuse my language. And you start like showing up and playing an active participatory role in your own life. A lot of those things you're gonna realize, like, okay, all these little rhymes and reasons, all these little woo cuckoos, all these little kumbaya lullabies, all these little, wounds. Again, we may have been a whiny, wounded weasel up until some part recently, and we had to level up, G up. We stopped all the stupid little, haranguing and complaining and having the inventory of wounds we got from people before or whatever. We'll realize that, okay, fuck that regret, excuse my language, screw that regret, screw that, off with regret. Not this fire upon me haters, but fire upon regret, fire upon shame, fire upon guilt, fire upon shame. And then, regret, if it lasts minutes, it's fine. But that's the thing. The only thing you're going to regret is the things you didn't do. And you might regret things when you're young because it's missed opportunities. But like when you're older, that's the real regret, things you didn't do, places you didn't invest. And it's always people. And it's always value. And it's always experiences. You're not going to look back and want more money unless it was more money to create opportunities for people that you love. And what I'm saying is, remember I was talking about that King of Wands? What I'm saying is that we're trying to make massive change. Some kind of permanent change, okay? So the permanent change, King of Wands, Death card, Hierophant. The permanent change, my darling, is becoming spiritual. And what I mean by this spiritualissimo is living a spiritual life, having spiritual eyes, recognizing, cultivating a life out of spiritual concepts, ideas, principles, morals, ethics, everything spiritual. Like me, I got coconut flour. I got coconut water. I got coconut sparkling water. I got chocolate coconut water, strawberry coconut water, peach coconut water, pineapple coconut water. Okay, I got coconut oil. Okay, I got coconut fractionated oil. Okay, I got coconut sugar. Okay, coconut. All right. So it's the same thing. It's like you're going to have a spiritual life. You're going to have a spiritual lover. You're going to have a spiritual job. You're going to have a spiritual path. You're going to have a spiritual community. You're going to have a spiritual friends. Spiritual. All right. So let me reshuffle. But we did have Ye Amanti, the lovers. We had La Luna, the moon. Okay, and then I'm hearing this song by Rufus Wainwright called Cigarettes and Chocolate Milk. Okay, so there may have been some addictions before. We have the Seven of Swords, Three of Pentacles, Nine of Wands, Nove de Bestione, Nine of Wands. Okay, and then Nove de Denari, that's the Pentacles. Okay, Four Pentacles, and then everything's fine, which means lessons, some kind of a lesson. All right, so what does that tell me? There was some addiction, and some addictions are not always substance or whatever. Sometimes it's the addiction is being stuck on stupid. Okay, not learning to grow, not picking it up and keeping it moving, not moving on and moving forward, stuck in the past, wounded weasel, wounded weasel, all this past and wounds and loss and spilt milk. And it's like, okay, great. Spend 2 hours in your drama, Mina, if you need to take an inventory and understand or vent or have your feelings. And then if in that 2 hours you realize that that's going to be a whole process for you, schedule that out and give it the space and put it in the container that it needs to be, or it's harmful to you. Because it's about an energy, frequency, vibration. And when we get stuck, okay, feelings are the language of the heart, and thoughts are the language of the mind. Excuse me, thoughts are the language of the brain. Feelings are the language of the body. Now, feelings are a derivative of emotions, and thoughts are a derivative of ideas. Okay, so emotions are the language of the soul. Emotions are processed as feelings. A feeling is a processed emotion. Now, like I said, thoughts are the language of the brain. Ideas are the language of the mind. So the mind and the brain are in the same place, but one can be measured and one can't. One you can see on a machine, one you can't. Okay. Like now, if thoughts are the language of the brain, ideas are the language of the mind. Okay, so this is why I'm saying don't be this weak, whiny, wounded weasel, because that means you have this maladaptive, idiosyncratic, perfunctory, extemporaneous, contemporaneous system of taking the lower road, being a beta, being a pussy bitch, instead of being strong, being bold, being courageous, being fearless. And fear doesn't mean there's an absence. Fearlessness does not mean there's an absence of fear. But fearlessness means when your body's getting flooded with the hormones and you're being given an opportunity to shrivel up and not go get your life, you stop and you say, oh, okay, I'm having an obstacle. I'm having to climb a wall. I'm having to jump a hurdle. You say that to yourself. There's going to be a moment of pain coming up. And then you can move forward. Because we keep using wanting to be perfect, wanting to understand, wanting to come correct as an excuse not to come at all. And so progress is better than perfection. I'm gonna keep shuffling. Progress is better than perfection. Could we just have the full card come out? And we had the Death card, the Hierophant, and the King of Wands. Yeah, so now we're starting to think about our legacy, because we're not happy with everything that we've cultivated, that we've created. We're not happy also with the flow of things as well. So I'm gonna just say this is a check-in. Like this, you know what this has given me? There was a time back in like 2006 to 2014, I would advertise on Etsy, or excuse me, I don't know where I got 2006 from. But I remember around 2014, I got off because at the time, everybody was starting to come in and advertise tarot readings on Etsy. And I love other readers at any level and at any kind of ratchetness or polish, however polished or ratchet that they are. I wasn't going to advertise next to these hoes, though. No. No. I didn't want my readings next to those readings on any type of advertising. So that's what I'm getting. We've suddenly come to such a level where we're like, no. Like, it's true. I started dating. I am looking for companionship. Actually, I'm looking for somebody that wants a future and a family in that order. Okay. So, builder. I'm looking for somebody who wants to build now, not later. I'm very clear. Somebody with their Venus in Aries or their Jupiter in Cancer, preferably. That would be premium, that wants to build a future and a family. So I'm very clear. But I'm realizing like there's a lot of things. It's not just dating. There's a lot of options, and then there's usually one or two clear choices. And the people who have on the lower end of the healing are typically, meaning they haven't spiritualized everything, are typically distracted by the option. And that's fine because you learn a lot there when you go through all the options and whatever. But also, that's a place for the devil to intervene, intercede, interject, interfere, to distract and veer us off the path. So we've had this slate. This is a clean slate, this King of Wands, like an expungement, a clean slate here, a fresh start, a brand new beginning, because we have this vision of the future King of Wands, and we also either we're on guard or we have clarity. Because this is a person who owns the truth here. They yield to the truth and karma. There are no karmas behind them, the King of Swords. With the Chariot, this is a military practitioner, a tactician, an operator of some kind. Wet work here with the Four of Cups. If the Ten of Wands comes out soon, yes. So I'm just saying, because I'm seeing it here. So we also have the Knight of Pentacles. Somebody here is a Cancer rising is talking specifically about your third house. Your third house is Virgo. So somebody is looking to get a bigger, better life, and they're going about things in a way that is not the best, most compatibility for them. And the trick here, the solution, the remedy, I'm going to tell it to your face. Not like talk shit, but Excuse my language. I haven't been able to curtail today. I'm needing to put some intention into that. Anyways, long story short, if you're Cancer rising, your third house, there's something going on with your third house, girl. And it's ruled by Mercury. And for some reason, that's where you're cultivating all these skills. Because third house, you got to respond, react, but it's your skills. Like the second house is your money, your values, the possessions that you own. The third house is just like the second house, but it's intellectual. So it's the skills that you've learned recently. It's the knowledge that you have in your short recall. It's your community and all the resources that are around you, and not always money. Sometimes people can tell you how to do things. Does that make sense? Like, I just had a neighbor tell me about egg substitutes when baking. You know, I'm in the backyard taking, because I did a crazy spiritual session, and I'm not a smoker, but I will every now and again have a puff and, like, you know, kind of smudge with it. Tobacco, just when I know I was dealing with somebody that had nasty energy. And it's usually I get into the session and then you go up against some nasty energy that got put on them by somebody they're usually related to. I'm going to be spraying some Colonia 1800 on me, or some tobacco cologne, or, like, you know, puff, whatever. And it's always the rolled tobacco. It's never like a carton with cigarettes or whatever. But I'm in the back. My neighbor just volunteers his information. Something similar to that is coming. And it's not only has it been a long time in coming, not only has it been maturing slowly in the background, but it pushed us over the edge. Because remember, before we were the Page of Pentacles, now suddenly we're the Knight of Pentacles. What does that mean? Kabbalah Denari. It means that we got initiated in some kind of way. One missing piece of information, one actual step made us the difference between amateur and not really professional, but a professional could have made $1. So, like, say you're a blogger and you got a check in the mail for $19 and it's your first check in the mail. Well, hey, you just went from the Page of Pentacles to the Knight of Pentacles. Does that make sense? Because the difference is, this is a low grade example. There are other examples, and go with the other examples. Okay, but the difference between an amateur and a professional is one person has made $1. Okay. So, like I was saying with the dating, there's a lot of options and not a lot of choices. And the difference between this Page of Pentacles and Knight of Pentacles is the Page doesn't always make the best choices. The Knight is going to be making better choices because they have recognition, because they have practical knowledge, because they're an insider. A Page may be wandering around the periphery. You know, yeah, okay, they're a student here, but they haven't even completed their first year. That's the Page. You know, yeah, they're a student here and they're about to graduate. That's the Knight. The graduate would be the Queen. Okay. And the one with all this done, the whole trajectory, they're not even taking classes anymore. That's the King. Okay, so now we have the Page of Cups, the Three of Swords. Over the last 6 weeks, somebody's been trying to get some vision off the ground. They've been moving slow, maybe because they're learning or healing. Some truth needs to come out. I think somebody needs to express affection. Now we have the Libra card. Somebody does have their Saturn and Libra here. Also, in the next 6 weeks, something's going to mature, manifest in some kind of way. Somebody's vision is going to mature, manifest in some kind of way. Somebody's in a bit of a situation financially. They're really having to do a lot. They're having to stretch money. I'm not saying scrimp or whatever, but there's more month left over after the end of the money. And maybe That language was correct. It may be that there's like a month where suddenly there's a lot of expenses. It's like holiday season. You always spend more money, and then you get to the end of the month and you realize, oh, my account's low. I'm going to be living off credit cards for the rest of the month. Something kind of like that. Um, I'm hearing to tell any kind of creditor, I need 2 months. And this isn't one of those kick the ball down the road situations. Like, really, that's all I need. That's for somebody. And listen, I'm under promising, over performing, because you really only need 6 weeks, up to maybe even sooner than 6 weeks. So if you're telling somebody 8 weeks, 2 months, you got time. Okay. So here's that confused ass hoe. I'm sorry, but that is a Libra hoe. Excuse me. I got Libra, so my South knows. We have the Three of Swords, the Libra card, and then the Seven of Cups. Okay, and I just heard the word. I got to say it again. I'm so sorry, baby. Confused as hoe. I'm literally confused as hoe. Seven of Cups, Justice card, Three of Swords. Somebody's a confused as hoe. Well, they're going to be disabused of whatever notion that they're under. Three of Swords, Five of Cups. Okay, unfortunately. Somebody's bubble's getting burst because they made a wrong choice. They were looking for some road. Okay, but this wrong choice is in the past, not currently. There was a choice that was made in the past. And that's this Three of Swords. The truth is coming out. It's on the horizon. It'll show up in a few weeks. So this truth is going to put us on the right trajectory because we're weighing up our options right now. That's what we're telling ourselves. You know what we're really doing? We're looking for options. We don't have the clarity, barely the competency to tell about these options. And this competency is going to come, but it's going to come in like lightning thunderbolt, like a blinding flash of the obvious. One little piece. For real though, when my neighbor told me about them egg substitutes during baking, and listen, I am veganish, meaning not. I basically only eat turkey and duck, basically duck eggs and turkey flesh, and I crave it. And I was vegan, ethical reasons, health reasons, da da da. And then voodoo, the divination. This one missing critical piece is gonna burst whatever bubble. So we've been crying over spilled milk in some kind of way. We've been in a certain community or in a certain space or in a certain type of belief, illusion, delusion, confusion, something. We've been operating under some kind of assumption and then it shifts us. Here's that 10 of Wands. Yeah, somebody here is a merc. It's a short con. Short con's under 30 days. But it is honeypot. And I don't mean to talk tradecraft here. My apologies. So you're in training, dear, and just ask yourself if that's the path you want to go down. Also, if you are melanated and you're going around dropping bodies, get with me because you need to keep your soul clean. If you're working for some type of governmental agency, if you're authorized, if you're commissioned to be armed, I'm not going to pass judgment to your face. I'm worried about your soul. Okay, for instance, in Africa or in Vodun or in the old world, in the ancient world, in the sacred world, if you're of a high rat status, if you're of a high rank, you shouldn't be taking life. That's how that works. because the high rank means you stand close to God, and he doesn't like that. The spirit is what God is, because the goddess is the God of the Bible that we're thinking, or the higher God, and she doesn't like that either. But everything happens, good, bad, and ugly, in the goddess. The God, the spirit, you can drill down. Okay. Goddess is like typing the word "the" into Google. God is like putting a whole sentence. Okay. So the closer you stand to God, the less you're going to want to have blood on your hands. Blood is not always actual blood, but it means that you could have caused harm. And another thing about it is, like, especially if we're doing in the community, if you're a soldier, you're not supposed to come back immediately after war. You're supposed to go stay in the convent, or if you have a family priest, you go to that family member and stay at their house, or you go to your priest and you stay with him for a few days. You have to go through ritual cleansing, not just purification, like ritual cleansing. All right. Because there's somebody here is dropping bodies. I'm just saying. I feel like you have a license. That's a governmental thing. Like you're an agent of some kind, and you just graduated your academy and you're getting your assignment. You're choosing what kind of assignment you're going to have out of the academy. I don't know if it's the police academy, federal academy. I don't know, because I only know about American institutions. I would never work for an acronym agency because I have my own. As a Wudun, I have my own. But like, say the FBI, I personally would go into investigation. You know, like if it was the police, I would go into intelligence. Does that make sense? Or like administration, like be an executive office. Does that make sense? But you get to choose your assignments when you graduate. Or like if you go to med school, you choose your specialty, even though you have to do rounds and rotations and stuff, you still do eventually get to choose your specialty. You know, you go into finance. My specialty inside finance was estate, compliance, governance, regulation, tax, also like IPO types of work, mainly underwriting. Underwriting, not just in public offerings, but in insurance, like deep underwriting. And my experience and specialization, my finance specialization in underwriting, came out of my former real estate appraisal. Okay. So before, remember I said that missing piece? Before one thing was even on the radar, I was over here doing something that eventually was congruent or set me up for this. So that's again another thing about looking for options, looking for roads. You might just need to know what all the roads that exist. You know what I mean? I like to drive down a certain road or travel down a certain road here on the way to the freeway because it drives right by the Mercedes dealership. And I'm a Mercedes fanboy, like some people are Apple fanboys or Cardi B fanboys or whatever. Like I'm really into the whole culture of Mercedes vintage, Mercedes fashion. Like I go on the little thrift stores on the apps and get like Mercedes beanies and shit, you know. And no, I don't drive a Benz. I don't drive. Anyways, long story short, I go down this road because I love to drive by the Mercedes dealership. It's like a thing. And it's my whole entire life. It doesn't matter. It's not about right now. I'm not wanting, craving, or whatever. And I'm upset right now because there's construction. And it's easier to go a road up, a road down, but not down the road that when you turn, it's right by the Mercedes dealership. So that's like the point that I'm making is like, in our mind, we're being educated. In our heart, in our spirit, in our psyche, in our soul, we're being educated. We're being informed. We're being updated on all the different workarounds, all the different roads, all the different inroads is what it's called. It's the master three, Imperatrice, Empress. Somebody has Venus in their first house. If you're Taurus rising and you have Venus in Taurus, that's very powerful. Because we have powers of manifestation, but they're finally starting to manifest because we're getting a yes from the universe. Also, over the next 6 weeks, there's going to be a lot more breakups because we're not going to be dealing with burdens. Yeah, there's some petty, common, basic ass hoes around us. All these hoes be getting me down. All these hoes, all these. Go listen to that Queen Herbie song. Queen, Queen, Queen Herbie, Herby, hoes are all these hoes. Listen to that song. Okay, all these hoes. I'm hearing that. All these hoes. All these hoes be getting me down. Yeah, all these hoes be getting me down. Well, dear, they were up until recently because we have that world card, so we upgraded, elevated, and then we're sitting on the throne now. Okay, with La Imperatrice, the Empress here. Okay, and then normally I would call him Rey, but for king, but I heard master. So you mastered your soul. Okay, and I need to hit the ball real quick. I'll be right back. I'm going through a lot of dental surgeries right now because I'm a former meth addict. I've been clean 18 years and I'm still all these years later going through dental stuff. So I hit the ball because I'm in pain. And normally I would just, but that's also more for enjoyment and XYZ. When I'm hitting the ball, first of all, I can put exactly what I need in there. Normally it's the cannabis plus like I have some kind of key for sometimes the dabs or whatever, but it's to control the dosage, which is another, because I prefer edibles. I'm a runner. I don't want to be smoking anything. I really prefer the edibles, but it's like a 45 to an hour and a half wait period and to kick in, and it's hard to control the dosage. Plus, girl, the pain gummies that I get, the red ones, are for sleepy time, but they're cherry flavored. Okay, giving me something cherry flavored, unless it's from my morning smoothies and the frozen cherries, it's gonna disappear. It's like asking a mouse to babysit the cheese. Iniguahapa. Queen of Swords. I'm so happy the Queen of Swords came out. Okay, because girl, we had the Three of Swords there for like a minute. So like all these happy energies were coming out and it's getting like Debbie Downered by the Three of Swords. Okay, so the Three of Swords went away. But now we got the Five of Wands. So we have the petty ass hoes here. Okay. So we found this missing piece. We matured overnight. We had the self-initiation, right? Because now we have discernment because there's this aha moment. But we also need to face the past because we have these Five of Wands here with Il Diavolo, the devil. So these are demons, petty demons, basic demons. Yeah, and we're in the darker, we're in hell, or we're under attack. It's because we're cursed. 3 weeks ago, somebody cursed because they were petty. There might have been a retaliation of some kind. And it's not an unresolved conflict, it's just the energy of the situation because we had to move on, move forward. But that was a breakout, break free, or a breakthrough of some kind. It was a breakthrough of some kind, 3 of Pentacles. So over the last 3 months, okay, here's the breakout, break free, but not with the devil here. Okay, hold on. No, there was a breakout, break free because there was bickering, backstabbing here. And then, of course, the conflict, competition, crossing, challenge, karma. Definitely karma, bad karma. And so this here, 7 of Swords, is the cunning strategy, the tactic used to break out, break free, because some things are mystery. Some things will never be known. And in the next week, we're going to be working on, moving forward. I think we're switching jobs here, is what I'm getting. Because there's jealousy, competition at work. We're switching jobs here. Is what I'm getting. 2 of Pentacles, Lovers. We may need a new job too, and we'll have it. It's because of our coworkers or the people around. Even if it's the management, it would be a group of managers. Though, oh, hold on, I need some chocolate. Grab me a moment. I'll just have a little corner piece and suck on it like a cough drop. So we will get that job. There might have been a lot of competition around it. And we might be leaving because we're leaving behind a change at work. Wheel of Fortune, 5 of Wands. The tables are going to change. But if there's petty people here, okay, people are putting in energy that's not going to come back to them in the right way. But we are aware of that with the 7 of Swords. And we're leaving behind the Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Pentacles, 5 of Wands, going towards the King of Cups. So we're going towards emotional fulfillment, and it's long and sustaining. A blessing, literally blessings and anointings, cup runneth over from the divine, okay? And then here's, all right. And so we went through all, okay. So we went through all of this. We went through all of this because I'm not the big, there's no because here. Okay, I don't want chewing sounds on camera. That's nerve-wracking to some folks. There's a whole phobia about that. We wanted to switch work. We might have also had to switch work. What I'm getting is that we've been struggling for up to 7 years. And it may be that it's been a lifetime struggle, but there's been different phases. And this last phase, we've recently come to awareness on like the facets and how it's shifted and evolved and kind of transmuted itself. And we're no longer taking this passive role in this experience. We're saying, no, I'm in it because of these reasons. I'm in it because I had this lack of awareness. I'm in it because now I've wised up, matured, bossed up. And I'm going about it this way from now on, or I'm tackling it this way, or this is my belief from this moment, kind of. And that in and of itself, the shift, it's gonna, okay. In addition, the people, places, and things that we're gonna be around is gonna shift as well. So most of us have been like these beautiful, precious flowers, these beautiful golden geese, and it's been mismanaged. Now, sometimes it could be because there's poisonous, toxic, malignant people like dark clouds in the sky. Not a lot of things are going to grow, and whatever does grow doesn't grow quickly, doesn't grow fast. Ultimately, we're working up towards the last piece of truth becoming known because it's getting stacked and layered in there. We can't handle the truth, not the whole truth. Now, we don't get lies, nothing but the truth, but we don't get the entirety of it. We might get 30% of it, and then 50% of it. And then I'm also hearing here that we're going towards love. So I think this love has been absent because of a lack of healing. And that's resolving itself. Normally, I would do an extended reading, which I'm gonna have to do, y'all, because there's like some more videos that are gonna come out. They were recorded like 2 weeks ago, but I took a nap and woke up 2 weeks later. No, I just needed a break because I needed to do some deep work. But I have some pre-recorded videos, and then the style of the videos is going to change. They're only going to be 15 to 30 minutes, sometimes 45. And if it's going to be more, it's going to go to an extended reading. Also, I'm gonna just do briefings from now on. There's not gonna be a lot of long, deep explanations, and the long, deep explanations will go towards like more private members only. Okay. So for us, we had virgin, which was pure. We were innocent, naive, pure. We had no malicious, evil intention if we had any conflict. And then also advocate here, which is the overall situation, not committing or choosing bad causes, bad things. We easily got distracted. That seven of cups. The devil was trying to lead us astray. Okay. Embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain versus inspiring us to put compassion to action. On our end, we have, instead of a fear of intimate union, we need to maintain symbolic purity of heart and spirit. That's like naivete. We needed to heal. Because we had a trickster in the midst. And it was somebody we're probably related to or co-workers. They might have taught us some things. They're older than us. They're teaching us the wrong things, though. They don't want to don't outshine the master is what I'm hearing. They think we're going to outshine them. Gosh, this is eerie. This is the whole time I've been talking, because I'm reading cards here, it's paralleling several different experiences in my life over the last few weeks. This check-in reading is crazy. I'm checking in too. Okay, so we're a virgin hermit, meaning we have great spiritual power and we utilize our own resources. Energy. Rescuer. Okay, so we have rescuer, advocate in the overall energy with the wheel of fortune. So that's salvation. That's salvation. That's salvation. That's salvation. Assumes that the rescued will reciprocate, keeps the rescued ones needy versus providing strength and support to others in crisis, acts out of love with no expectation of reward, inspires you to put compassion into action. Instead of a passion, passing on wisdom, refining people's character, transcending convention, English, convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior. There's a lot of manipulation, lies, imparting fault, trickster energy. Okay, so we've been withdrawn, us personally. We've been refusing to ask for help, but we are asking for help. I'm getting that we're asking God for help with our depressive episodes. And you know what God is suggesting is that we go out and do service, like charity, food, like food pantries or whatever. I don't know in your area how helping the needy works. Like me personally, I love to, because I'm a Saturn priestess, so I love to donate black. I have a clothing closet here. I have a whole box of food. And anytime I want to go and donate, I can. I have a whole pile, because I constantly do it. But me, I love to do it on Saturdays, and I love to donate black items because for Saturn priestesses, it's a thing. I don't know why that's relevant for someone. And then what do we look out for? Gift or curse? What do we look out for? Okay, so intuition's gonna be on fleek. Okay. Intuition is gonna be on fleek. I'm just saying. Okay, but some evil people are on the horizon as well. Darkness is looming. Now we will a long journey brings rewards. It also means we'll be guided through the darkness because yep, we will be guided through the darkness. Okay, so I think also we're gonna be elevated or there's some kind of reward recognition accolade on the way for us. And then we have Queen here, love and prosperity, but it's because there's people around us that want to use us, the forces of nature. We have some kind of energy that they want to access or utilize, or we have some type of resource. We are a resource. Okay, so we're a commodity in some kind. With that star in the oracle, which always is the confirmation for me, seek wisdom and guidance from elders. Keep people around you that have your interest in mind. The star also talks about a trajectory being increased. So say your league gets changed or your grouping gets changed or like me, I'm a runner. I'm just giving examples because it's a personal check-in spread. Or it's a collective for us who are members. So members to me is students, children, or clients, because then your energy will come up in the collective readings. Otherwise, if it comes up, you were summoned and welcome. Like me, okay, so I'm a runner and I used to run a lot 10 years ago for like over 10 years. Okay. Now I'm like 14 weeks into a running program, or not a program at all, but like I'm 14 weeks into my picking back up running after being gone 10 years. So if you're an elite runner, there's something called a ranking. Okay. And I'm in nowhere there. But I do have a ranking and I'm in this community. And so there's a city ranking, right? And 14 weeks into a program, all these things are changing in my body. All my clothes are big and I'm not overweight at all. I mean, yeah, I'm not overweight. So 10 weeks ago, when I was scoring in these rankings, I was at the bottom of the list. Mainly because I was in the very next weight class. Oh no, I'm towards the bottom now. And before, in the previous weight class, I was towards the top. Does that make sense? For my age bracket as well. It ranks you on all these different kinds of. So like it's something similar to that. Like we need to have people of a higher rank around us, and rank may be rank and access. It may just be like maturity level, like they may be OG and we may be just in the game. We just off the street. Some kind of elder, we need some kind of wise counsel. Does that make sense? Also, we are in a different league. That's why I was talking about the rankings. It's because we're in a different classification now. We're in a different weight group. Does that make sense? So we need to play with people of our ilk just so we can learn more about who we are. If you're a millionaire and you're hanging out with people that are not, that don't have assets, that don't save, that don't invest, that don't acquire more assets, the people who don't have passive income, they're not thinking about the future, they're thinking month to month, okay, in terms of how far their money's going to stress them for the month. these are not people who can give you investment advice. And if they're giving you investment advice, it's not investment advice for a millionaire. Does that make sense? So that's what I mean by like be with your own ilk. There are people that you're gonna have in your life forever. Okay. Um, but if you're not around people like you're gonna be like the people that you've been keeping around forever. You're gonna be an average of your 5 closest friends. It's like that. You hang out in, I don't know, the kennel or whatever, you get fleas. You hang out with dogs, you get fleas. You hang out at the barber shop, you get your hair cut. If you're from the fellowship, you know what I mean. You know, people, places, and things. That's relevant. Okay, let's pull one more. Okay, there's some dark people around. I'm just seeing all this darkness. We have all this darkness. The dagger, conflict and danger lie in wait. You will be guided through darkness, the moon, but it also says be patient and meticulous. Spiders. Spiders is somebody trying to weave in evil. And I had saw a different evil card too. It went away, but I felt it, I saw it, I sensed it. So this has been a long ass reading. I'm gonna go. Go ahead and check the show notes. Take good care. And until we read again, until we meet again, namaste, dandava, and ashe. We're doing away with these long readings, but you know, there's a few more coming up because they're already kind of recorded. So I recorded them weeks ago. I just didn't even want to sit down at the computer. I just wanted to be in my healing. And I'm still a needy bitch. I still need more healing, but the show must go on, you know. Okay, so I'm learning all these things about people. Like people get upset when you don't respond to their text message right away. Girl, I sometimes don't even look at the text message app on my phone for like a few days, you know? And then people make all these assumptions and it is very difficult to show up to the expectations humanity places on actual humans, especially in the West. So like I'm disoriented, learning how to show up and like make my way through the world because the way I was showing up before was very trauma based, reactive response. It was very learned response. It was very learned behavior. Now I'm fully awakened, fully embodied, fully conscious, but I'm also fully raw. I'm tender and raw and open, and it's hard to. Um, I take a lot of time. I take a lot of space. I move very slowly just so that I can feel resonant with my own energies, resonant with my own self, um, and it's very wounding with all, there's a lot of expectations that imposed and a lot of narrative that's imposed over another person. And I feel that's so disrespectful, because you dishonor another person's autonomy. So like autonomy is defined as separate, operating separately, meaning like let's practical autonomy. So like parents don't respect children's autonomies because your child came from you, so you expect them to believe what you believe and to have your religion and to have your thoughts and to have your values and to whatever. Okay. meaning you don't see them as a separate entity with their own thoughts, with their own opinions, with their own values. You look at them as an extension of yourself. That's autonomy, okay? So like I'm feeling with this respectability politicking and virtue signaling and tone policing and individuality shaming, and to impose your beliefs on another person means you're not respecting their personhood. So you're not seeing them as a separate entity. So you're not respecting their autonomy. That's disrespect. And that's the wound that I've been taking all this time inventorying. That's what I've been away doing. I've been in my feelings. But a lot's come out of it. A lot has come out of it. Okay, I'm excited for shorter videos. I really, truly, genuinely am. I've been wanting that for a long time. Now, that's why we have that extended readings going on. Now, remember, a few more long videos are going to come out, and then it's off to the short ones again. Take good care of yourself. Bye-bye.